Hello, isn't this just such a wonderful setting? Just look at these beautiful summer flowers. And can you hear? That's the real sound of summer. You know, scenes like this were a very common thing 40, 50 years ago. Families would sit down to afternoon tea and enjoy bread and honey. And yet it's hard to believe, as I sit here in this beautiful garden, that we may not be able to do this for much longer, and that this may no longer be available in such abundance, if at all. You see, over the last 10 years or so, and certainly within the last 5, the bee population of the world has been in decline. There have been several documentaries about this potentially disastrous scenario, but during this programme I'm going to present you with a different theory as to what might be going on. One which has very scary, dare I say, apocalyptic consequences. It's a bit out there, a bit X-Files. But first, let's find out more about beekeeping in general and get a beekeeper's view on bee decline. There are around 25,000 species of bees found around the world, and around 270 species have been recorded in the British Isles. Of these, there are 27 species of bumblebee, over 200 of solitary bees, and just 1 species of honeybee. These are the beehives located within the bee garden at the National Botanic Garden of Wales, and I'm delighted to be joined by Linda Christie, who has been tending these hives for 5 years. For hundreds of years, mankind has had a close, harmonious and essential relationship with bees. What are we doing? If bees disappear off the face of the earth, then we might only have 4 more years of life as we know it now on this planet. Why? Because bees pollinate 1/3 of the food the human race eats daily. Pollination is a global business for the production of commercial crops. It is estimated that the annual contribution of bees worldwide is $217 billion, of which £430 million is at UK farm gate prices, which equates to almost £1 billion at the supermarket checkout. This really puts into perspective this potential catastrophe. Within the last 10 years, the bee population across the world has shown an alarming decline, a phenomenon that has been called colony collapse disorder. Here in the UK, it is also called and known as Marie-Celeste syndrome. Despite this increasingly serious situation, we don't hear that much about it in the media. Perhaps there's a UFO-style cover-up going on, maybe to prevent mass panic. Who knows? It's so hard to believe. No bees, potentially no life. It's as simple as that. Scientists and researchers across the world are searching for answers, and ironically, while bees seem to be dying in increasing numbers, so science is discovering that some types of honey have remarkable healing properties. But now I'm going to present you with an alternative theory for bee decline. I'd now like to introduce you to Robert King, author of this fascinating book, Ghosts of Neath. Hello, Robert. Let me leave you with these thoughts. Is there a real connection between the insect world and humans? Look at how we rely on bees for our survival. And yet in recent times, through our inexcusable actions, we've started to kill them. Do they actually understand this? Perhaps they don't realise that we haven't intentionally set out to destroy them. I hope so. Professor James Lovelock's Gaia theory is particularly relevant to this state of affairs. Professor Lovelock has been described as the most influential scientist and writer since Charles Darwin, and the closest thing we have to an Old Testament prophet. Put plainly and simply, his Gaia theory is the idea that our planet is a living, self-regulating system. Break a part of it, and the system starts to break down. The bees, they might just think that retribution is due. How? Well, what if they've accepted the idea that we're killing them and they can't fight back? They know they'll become extinct, but they also know that they'll have the last laugh, because within 4 years or so, we'll be gone too.